Hello everyone and welcome to a galaxy far, far away and happy 6th of December. So flying out of door number 6 we have a Y-Wing starfighter. It might not be as glamorous as its sister plane the X-Wing, but its history and its role in the galaxy makes it its own unique thing and something special. So let's take a look at it. So first of all, the figure. It has this characteristic shape that makes it look like a Y, so there's absolutely no doubt what kind of craft this is. You see the two big iron engine that gives us the characteristic Y shape. And we can also see a little metal stud in the middle of it that indicates an astromech droid. An astromech droid, like R2-D2. R2-D2 is an astromech droid. Those small droids that looks like vacuum cleaners, they are all astromech droids. So actually, let's use some time to talk about astromech droids and why are they in starfighters. That's because they are basically acting as a co-pilot. They can make small repairs on the way. They can do a lot of computation. They can assist with the flying, both in real space, but also in hyperspace. You need to do some quite significant calculation when flying through hyperspace. And the astromech droid can actually take the bulk of that, which is quite an advantage. So you might ask, why doesn't everyone use astromech droids in their starfighters? Because not everyone does. And that's a good question. So some of the drawbacks from having an astromech droid is that they actually weigh quite a bit. So if speed is important, then you might want to reconsider. And sometimes an astromech droid can have a little bit of personality. Now, that can be a good thing, like with R2-D2. He has a lot of personality, but he's also extremely heroic and very, very competent to more or less everything that he does. But sometimes that's not really the case, and they can have some personality that needs to be tweaked in a repair shop. So there can be quite a bit of maintenance with astromech droids. But if you have a good astromech droid, you will have a fantastic and very, very competent co-pilot. So a good example of a plane or a starfighter that doesn't use astromech droids would be the TIE fighter that we talked about the other day. And the reasons for that is primarily speed. A TIE fighter needs to be as light as possible because its maneuverability is everything, basically. But it's also because a TIE fighter is not meant for long-distance flying. It's meant for short-distance space battles, and a TIE fighter will typically be carried around on a Star Destroyer or the likes. So, the Y-Wing. It's a bigger and more bulky than the more nimble X-Wing. But the Y-Wing is, on the other hand, extremely heavily armed. It has two very, very powerful laser cannons in the front, and they are powerful enough to penetrate the armor of much, much bigger and heavier armed vessels. It also has a few ion cannons in a little rotating turret on the top. And besides that, it has proton torpedoes, concussion missiles, and proton bombs, and cluster missiles. A lot of firepower. As you also can see on this picture, there's actually a lot of the armor or the hull of the ship of the two iron motors that has been peeled off. That was because they had a lot of extra equipment. Because when the Y-Wing was built, it was intended for long distance missions of various kinds. But the Rebel Alliance, they stole a lot of these ships and acquired them, and then they wanted to focus more on large scale space combat. So they wanted these to just be really, really heavily armed in these kind of situations. So they did not need all the extra equipment, so they actually took a lot of it off to give it a little more maneuverability. And that's why the iron engines looks so tampered with. And you can actually also see that on the figure, that they're really long and thin because so much has been removed from them. All right, Y-Wings, they're actually also present in the battle for Yavin in the end of episode 4, A New Hope. They are the Gold Squadron. And that is a trio of Y-Wings that actually are the first to attempt a trench run. Unfortunately, very unsuccessful. Very quickly, they are shot down. But in total, in the Battle of Yavin, there are 3 squadrons that tries for a trench run, and the Gold Squadron, the Y-Wings, are actually the first. Okay, and we will end with a fun fact. So, Y-Wings are also present in the book Star Wars From the Adventures of Luke Skywalker. And that is written by Alan Dean Foster. But it was credited to George Lucas. That's something that is called ghost authoring. when an author writes a book in another person's name, then that's called ghost authoring. And that book is quite iconic because that's actually the first Star Wars product that was ever released. It was released in 1976, the year before the first film is in the cinemas. So in this book, Y-Wings are part of Red Squadron and X-Wings are part of Blue Squadron. But because of some limitations with the blue screen technology back in the time, they actually changed it in the movie so that the X-Wings are Red Squadron and the Y-Wings are Gold Squadron. All right, that's it for today. What do you think about Y-Wings? Did you learn something today that you didn't already know? Please let me know in the comment section below. And also, right now on Disney Plus, Skeleton Crew is actually airing. That's a Star Wars series. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but have you watched it? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you will give this video a like. I also hope that you will subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I also really hope that you will share this video with your friends, family, or whoever you think deserves it. If they don't speak English or if they are Danish, I also make these videos in Danish. So, yeah, and I hope you will follow along tomorrow where we're going to open yet another door. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.